I have a new game for you. Now, here is a clip from a previous episode. Now, apart from the wonderful affiliate link I've obtained from the WWE, which you see there, see here where the arrow is pointing to? That's our family cat Clyde, who wanders in and out at times during recordings. I challenge you to go Clyde spotting as you watch my videos. Please press like and subscribe and share this video of positivity with all your wrestling mates. Now, by the way, speaking of this channel's affiliate link, if you're after genuine WWE merchandise, there's two ways you can go about it. You can either type www.com in your browser or your search bar, go to www.com and then go to the shop link. Or use the If You See Kayfabe code that you see on your screen right now. It'll also be in the comments section. Now, option 1 only helps WWE and yourself getting genuine merch. Option 2 does all of the above, but by using the code, it helps the channel and is a direct link to the WWE shop site. So please, copy and paste the link below and try today. You'll be glad you did. G'day, wrestling mates. Welcome to another episode of If You See Kayfabe with your wrestling mate from down under, Southern Joe. I want to start this episode by discussing an evolving story from one of our two big football codes here in Australia and tie it back in with how dirt sheet reporters can be harmful to folk who haven't been consulted before a story about them is being written. Now, one of the Melbourne Demons' top stars, Christian Petrarca, was seriously injured in a game of AFL against Collingwood on June 10, 2024. That was about 3 months ago at the time of this recording. After his initial injury, the Melbourne medical staff, who are normally on the ball, sent him back out despite the seriousness of his injuries. Now, it turned out that Petrarca's return to the field that day was potentially life-threatening. Petrarca ended up sustaining a grade 5 lacerated spleen, 4 broken ribs, and a punctured lung. His injuries were likened to that of a car crash victim. He ended up needing surgery and spent a week in ICU. Now, this, coupled with some other issues at the club that he has served loyally since his debut in 2016 and is still contracted till 2029, there was intense speculation he wanted out of the club and wanted a trade. Now, this speculation was without any word from the man himself, as he did take away time away from the club and has been frustrated by the club's culture. AFL dirt sheeters have implied that Petrarca wanted a trade away to Collingwood or Carlton, two of the big other clubs. There were reports that a surprising trade between Petrarca and Carlton gun forward Harry Mackay was on the cards. No one was more surprised by this but Harry himself, and he revealed how this affected him mentally during a podcast he hosts with his twin brother, Ben, who's also a footballer. Christian also talked about how the injury, the aftermath, and the speculation has affected him mentally as well. Now, this is a lesson for all the dirt sheeters in wrestling. Before you publish that scoop, call the wrestler you're writing about. Even if that wrestler denies what you're going to write about them, you can at least state that in your article that you reached out to them for comment. Try it sometime. It might do wonders for your ongoing credibility. There are two wrestling legends that I'm truly worried about right at the moment for different reasons. Firstly, there's Jim Ross. He has had well-documented health issues over the past few years, and despite his efforts to fight them, he looks like he is deteriorating somewhat. His weight's dropped, his voice is raspier than before, but at least he is keeping a sharp mind. He's in my prayers. Another who's in my prayers, but I feel his mind is not what it used to be, is Hulk Hogan. I've kept quiet about how I felt about all of this, but I feel like Hogan has the onset of dementia. This is a serious thing. Some of the things he's said in the past couple of years and how he has conflated events mirror some of the things my own mum has been saying in her own world. There was a time until she was put on this specific medication that she would ring up every few days saying that my brother's partner had died. Now, she lives in the granny flat behind my brother's house. Hulk's rambling may be amusing to some, annoying to others, and biased confirmation of his bad side to his haters, but I'm hoping that he gets checked out, and I hope I'm wrong about both him and Jim Ross, but especially for Hulk, as he's damaging his legacy. Time for a break, and back with some views on the latest pay-per-views from All Elite and the WWE. Kayfabe with your wrestling mate from down under, Southern Joe. Now, WWE went to Germany for a paid pay-per-view recently. It was called Bash at Berlin. This all went down on Saturday, August 31st, 2024. The show itself was decent, not too many matches, and most of them at a pretty good work rate. But WWE looks like it's mimicking AEW with the amount of announcer table spots. There was at least one in each match, and not many rules being followed. But at least most of the matches made some sort of sense. Then All Elite had their All Out show the following Saturday on September 7, 2024. I feel this show was too close to the Wembley Spectacular they had just had 2 weeks prior, which was a success with 50,000 fans pouring into the iconic London venue, even though this was down from the 80-something thousand they drew the first time around this time last year. Also, having a show called All In, then closely followed by a show called All Out, is confusing for those that aren't the niche, rabid AEW fan. But if WWE was mimicking AEW in parts, then AEW was trying to become the love child of ECW and GCW. Now, hardcore matches are okay when there is a special stipulation when, say, a storyline situation is deemed to be out of control. But it dulls itself if every match is out trying to do the last one in chaos and mayhem. Not only having every foreign object in the United Nations present, but wild, unhinged spots that are done for nothing else but for shouts of, "This is awesome," and for shock and not even awe. It does not bode well for several reasons. Now, like it or not, pro wrestling is a hard enough product to sell to those that are not fans. Even if the last thing that ad executive saw was Hogan leg dropping Andre the Giant, pro wrestling would still be a hard sell. Now let's look at the 3 biggest no-nos AEW committed here. Remember, I'm a fan of just about all pro wrestling companies anyway. I don't mind hardcore stuff as long as it's safe and done well and makes sense and is special. First no-no, the unprotected chair shot. In this era when people are still remembering what happened with Chris Benoit and others, just put away the furniture and wrestle. Second, a needle being inserted in someone's mouth. Now, you may notice I'm not putting up graphics for these things because I don't want them to get any more attention than it already has. I don't see what good can come out of this. I'll mention the third thing and tie it back into something that's as old as TV itself. The third no-no was the plastic bag over the head spot. Now, you diehards will say, "Oh, but they took safeguards." Fine, but those safeguards aren't what we get to see. Terry Funk and Ric Flair did the spot in '89, and Funk had to go on TV and apologise. Because you see, ever since Superman first appeared on TV back in the 50s, little boys have broken their legs jumping off roofs and shed roofs thinking they're Superman. In some cases, the results have been more serious. Now, you can start as many wrestling shows with "Don't try this at home," but there'll be those who believe they're invincible and will copy anyway. Not only that, no advertiser wants to associate with a product that simulates an action in a sporting event or simulate a sporting event that could cause death. And before any of you try and defend this stance, remember AEW's motto is, "We're the best wrestle." Now, this is a throwback to the old NWA days where the WWF was seen as the cartoon show, especially when Vince started the rock and wrestling stuff, and NWA was seen as the proper stuff. Now, while WWE have tightened their storyline telling to a degree, AEW has started coming up with backstage skits and over-reliance on edgy promos. Hardly the best wrestling. And then the wrestlers feel the need to make matches memorable by stunts rather than a really good wrestling match. Savage Steamboat or Flair Steamboat matches hold up just as well today as they did when they first aired. And this is without a reliance on whatever is hidden under the ring. I'll say it again. If everything is special, then nothing is special. I really hope AEW picks up their game, claws back their lost ground in ratings and so forth, and perhaps have someone convince the Bucks that they are more useful away from the ring. Okay, don't forget to subscribe and leave a comment below, as well as a like if you enjoyed this video. Till next time, this is your wrestling mate from Down Under, Southern Joe, saying, hooroo.